about some of the competitive funding opportunities from the federal government that are available right now. Working hard, I share like a lot of my colleagues across the country with the U.S. Economic Development Administration's Tech Hubs program that's due August 15th. But there's also another program called Recompete, and that's due August 5th. So something I wanted people to keep in mind if they're considering applying, first of all, for Tech Hub, since it's due in a couple weeks. If you haven't started, you're probably going to be up for 24 hours straight for 2 weeks. But that being said, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. And there's a class for the University of Delaware Institute for Public Administration, their grant application program. I'll try and put the link in after this, but I developed a curriculum for them for the municipalities in Delaware. And this class, I think it's August 7th when they're putting it live, it gives you some tips and tricks and to consider when you're applying for federal funding. So a few are, you can look at the FAQs. You don't even have to look at the notice of funding opportunity to see if you as an applicant are eligible. It's each NOFO has different requirements. Some are much more expansive than typical, and some are very restrictive on the type of applicant. So you need to consider that. Perhaps there's another organization, partner organization, that can be the applicant. Also, sometimes with applications, they require a consortium of basically sub-awardees. So you need to that you kind of need to look into the notice of funding opportunity, but sometimes it's in the FAQ or the one-page overview. Also, you want to consider the timeline. So like I said, for Tech Hubs due August 15th, are you going to be able, do you have the capacity and ability to pull something together with any sort of given timeline? But also look in the notice of funding opportunity for when the project needs to be completed. Are you able to complete your project idea in that time frame? There's also typically geographic eligibility requirements. And again, they vary by different funding opportunity. And usually these are in the FAQs as well. Of course, they're spelled out in the NOFO. They vary from project to project. Sometimes they define it as state. Sometimes it's loosely defined as region. Sometimes they get pretty specific as MSAs. And so it is important that you look at that geography and how you would apply that to your project. And then finally, project eligibility, you will need to look at the notice of funding opportunity for this. For the project ideas that you have, you need to make sure that it meets the requirements of the NOFO. So please reach out to me if you have any questions.